call me optimistic, but it feels like Star Wars is beginning to realize the importance of Star Wars Legends and the Star Wars Expanded Universe's long history and how that relates to current books, comics, projects, and even movies. And this is my topic of today's brief video. I wasn't planning on uploading today. I'm kind of just doing this off the cuff. I've got my podcast to do in, less than an hour now, so hopefully I can get this finished. By the way, we'll be discussing one of my favorite Star Wars Legends book series, The Young Jedi Knights. But I thought it was important to cover something that we learned today, and that was about a new set of Star Wars books receiving unabridged audio treatments. I'll talk about why this is important in just a minute, but first, let's get a bit of history. So, a little while ago, Star Wars announced the launching of the Essential Legends Collection. It was celebrating 50 years of Lucasfilm and was republishing a series of Star Wars Legends novels with new cover art and maybe some small changes, but pretty much in their original form. So, earlier this month, June 15, we saw the release of that first launch. We got Darth Bane, Path of Destruction, Heir to the Empire, which is book 1 of the Thrawn trilogy, and we got Shatterpoint. However, what was far more interesting to me than kind of repackaging of existing Legends books was the fact that we got an unabridged audiobook for Shatterpoint, something we had never had up until this point. What is an unabridged audiobook and why is it important? Well, first of all, Star Wars audiobooks are immensely entertaining, especially new Star Wars audiobooks. They're easily my favorite way to consume expanded universe media. Usually they have some pretty great narration, they've got full music, they've got sound effects, and they're just really enjoyable. But there is a caveat to that. An unabridged audiobook is what you want. It means that the entire text has been translated to audiobook form. Abridgment is when portions of the book are cut out to save time. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing if you're not a hardcore Star Wars fan, but the problem is the majority of the Star Wars audio productions for the Legends continuity were abridged, and most of them were terrible. So there were, of course, some unabridged audio productions. Most of the late ones in the continuity got the unabridged treatment. Then, of course, some of the classics like the Thrawn trilogy came out in their full form. We also got books like Plagueis. But as I said, most titles which received an audio treatment were unabridged, and the abridgments were very, very harsh. Star by Star, for example, is the longest Star Wars Legends book. It's 624 pages. I think if that were to be an audiobook in its full form, it would probably be about 20 to 25 hours. The abridged version that we got released is 3 hours long. The majority of the book is not present, and listening to the audiobook does not even give you a portion of the experience. It's a complete letdown, and it's almost impossible to follow, as is the case with all of the books in the New Jedi Order. So unabridged audiobooks are important because they preserve the original material and they make it more accessible for people who don't have the time or even ability to read. So the announcement that they would be making new Star Wars audiobooks was very exciting, but for a while we didn't know if it would just be Shatterpoint. I personally had heard some rumors from people I think are pretty reliable who told me that Star Wars Rogue Squadron was coming, but until today, there wasn't any confirmation. But today we got a tweet from Del Rey Star Wars which said, "We're excited to announce the next trade paperbacks in the Essential Legends collection. Each edition will have a new cover with original artwork. In addition to the new cover, Rogue Squadron will receive an all-new unabridged audiobook edition available September 7th. The X-Wing series is probably the one more than any that I would have nominated to get an unabridged version. Right now, they've only confirmed that the first book, which is one of the best, Rogue Squadron, will be available in this format, but fingers crossed if this does very, very well, that we'll see more." And on that note, I actually got an email from Del Rey because I'm on their publicity list. I get the books in advance, and they said not only what we got today, with the new books being released, but also that Del Rey will be continuing to add classic titles to the Essential Legends collection with the next editions publishing in spring 2022. So this is exciting. We could be having a new swath of Star Wars Legends book getting the re-release treatment. We could be getting a bunch of new audiobooks. That is, well, it's excellent. That's really what I was hoping for a long time. And as fans, we need to support these. I've already pre-ordered Star Wars Rogue Squadron, the audiobook, and I'll probably buy some of the physical books as well, just because I want to contribute to the overall fan base, showing that Star Wars Legends still has a very high degree of popularity. What's coming coming in April, well, we already know that Darth Plagueis will be getting a re-release in April 2022. As I mentioned, that book did already get an unabridged audiobook, so I'm not sure if we'll be getting another audiobook in that cycle, but I'm going to guess we will. I think this trend of doing several novels and at least audiobooks will probably continue, but I do also honestly believe that there is the potential for a lot more than that. Like, I'm not sure what it costs to produce an audiobook. I'm sure it's expensive, but with the text already there, with all the sound effects and the music readily available, and with awesome narrators. And by the way, Mark Thompson, the best Star Wars narrator in my opinion, is doing Rogue Squadron, which is exciting. I don't see why they couldn't continue to pump these out if there is fan interest. I mean, I think it's even great that they're republishing these Star Wars Legends books. They've got the Legends banner. We're still a long ways off from getting any new books, I think, but I do think Star Wars is starting to realize just how important the Legends continuity and the Legends fans are to the overall Star Wars expanded universe, and really the franchise and media property as a whole. So if you're at all interested in Star Wars or Star Wars Legends, make sure you pick up these books. If you've ever been interested in Star Wars audio productions, I highly encourage X-Wing. It's not out until September, but you can use my Audible trial at audible.com/EckhartsLadder to get a free Star Wars or audiobook of any type. I'm not sure if you can use that credit for a pre-order, and this isn't a sponsored video. I just want these releases to do really well. But guys, that's all from today. Until next time, have a good one, be safe, and may the Force be with you.